Moments with Mark chapter 8, starting with verse 27. This passage deals with Peter's clear declaration of who Jesus is. He's getting more clarity in who this rabbi is that he's following. Jesus and his disciples left Galilee and went up to the villages near Caesarea Philippi. As they were walking along, he asked them, "Who do people say I am?" "Well," they replied, "some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say you are one of the prophets." Here we see Jesus asking his disciples more clearly, "Who do people think I am?" And so in this passage, they say who other people say. Maybe you're a prophet. Maybe you're like Elijah. Then he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" It's one thing to think about what others say, but another thing to make it personal to you. Who do you say Jesus is? And Peter replied, "You are the Messiah." Messiah and Christ are really the same word. And the Messiah was expected to be the new political king. Jesus was the Messiah. He was the Christ. He was king, but not a political king. He was a spiritual king, a king of hearts, so to speak. But Jesus warned them not to tell anyone about him. Why? This is called the messianic secret. Jesus did not want to prematurely reveal his messiahship. So we have that same question for us today. Who do we say Jesus is? C.S. Lewis gave 3 options on who Jesus was. If Jesus deceived people by fraud, he was a liar. If Jesus was deluded or self-deceived, then he was a lunatic. Or the third option, he was divine, the Lord, who he claimed to be. There is no getting out of this trilemma. People often say about Jesus, they say something like, "I believe he was only a good teacher." And they are ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but they don't accept his claim to be God. That really is not one of these options. Why? Because a good teacher would not make the claims Jesus made about himself, claiming to be divinity. A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. His statements would be false, fraudulent. Or Jesus would be a lunatic on the level of a man who thinks he is a dog, psychotic, messianic complex. You must make your choice. Either this man Jesus was and is the Son of God, divine, or else a madman or something worse. You can say he was a fool, you can say he was a liar or a fraud, or you can fall at his feet and call him Lord, Savior, God, and friend. It seems to me obvious that he was neither lunatic nor a fraud. I then accept the view that he was and is God, not a lunatic, not a liar, but Lord. Who do you say Jesus is?